Hello. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. I know this is a very impromptu stream. I've been in India for a month now, a month today. Today is, the 24th. And what a whirlwind it's been. I have been settling in, and it's taken a wee bit longer than I expected to sort of get myself feeling, getting into the swing of things, if you know what I mean. What can you tell us about India? So I've been here a few times. This trip is teaching me about how I have to just really go with the flow. Indian timescales are very different to UK timescales, so tend to be on the late side. So we've had a couple of like plumbers come or electricians come to our apartment. The landlord's organised it and they've said, okay, they'll be there by 6 p.m. and it gets to 8 p.m. and they're still not here, but that's just normal. So you just kind of have to expect that and just chill, and nobody cares around here. They're all just chill about it. I am in Goa, which is a more laid-back beachside area, so maybe it's even more amplified here, that kind of relaxed attitude. Have you moved there or visiting? So I'm living here for the next couple of months. I am adopting a street dog. It's a crazy story. I'll need to go back to the beginning and tell you all about it. Maybe when a few more people join, I could kind of start that little story time. Have you ate any street food? Actually, not really. Momos. I've grabbed some momos, which are kind of like dumplings, little ball with fillings inside. Go with the flow. No, so basically, I'll tell you the story. At the end of last year, my boyfriend went to Gwalior in India to visit a friend. He had been made redundant at the end of last year and quite a few things had happened health-wise, so he just needed like a mental health reset, if you like. So he went over to Gwalior to visit one of my friends, and after about a week he was having a cup of tea on the side of a motorway, because there's tea stalls everywhere in India, and there was this little street dog, and India has many street dogs. It's a real shame because there's just so many and they don't know what to do with them. There was a little street dog, a wee puppy, and my boyfriend fed the puppy and then went back for a few nights in a row to keep an eye on this dog and feed it and make sure it was okay. And then he called me in January and said, look, I would love to adopt this street dog. I've looked into it, I've done a bit of research, this is the script, this is the process. Are you on board? And I could see like the spark ignited back into him, you know, this was kind of a purpose for him, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to interfere with this plan. So I said, okay. So the last month or two when I was back in the UK, it was me organising how I could come out into India and stay here for a couple of months, because the process of bringing a street dog to the UK is quite long-winded. There's a couple of hurdles you have to jump over. So yeah, that was the plan. I didn't expect to be coming out to India this year, but here I am. So I got here about a month ago, as I said at the beginning of the stream. I got here a month ago and took a 40-hour taxi from Gwalior to Goa, because it was Holi Festival around that time and we couldn't get a first-class cabin on the train, and that's what you need if you're bringing a dog on the train. So we booked a taxi. It was 40 hours, thousands of miles, and the dog was an angel, Luna. She's a wee 9-month old puppy, she was such a dream. She just sat on our laps the whole time. And yeah, we're now in Goa. And we've rented a little apartment. It's like a little 1-bedroom studio. And I'm going to try and continue working and living over here for the next couple of months while we try and figure out everything to do with bringing this dog home. So yeah, that's the story. Quite crazy, but it feels right being here at the moment. I've been to India a few times before. Goa 3 times is my 3rd time, and I love the way of life over here. The sun, obviously, the sea, yeah, that's my happy place. So I'm feeling really at home here. And am I okay? I am very okay. Yeah. I have been trying to record a couple of videos for Patreon. I thought I'll do some Patreon videos just to kind of test out the environment. And it's quite loud. So it's currently 9:22 in the morning in India. And I don't know what you're picking up from this microphone, but I'm hearing cars, birds, some animals. I don't know what they are, but they're making fun sounds. So I'm not sure what you can hear. So I have been struggling a little bit on the recording side of things to get some content, but I've got some videos still from Portugal when I went to Portugal in October that I'm editing. So I'll be releasing that hopefully this week. My next video is an outdoor pamper session with Miss Chloe ASMR. But when we were recording, without realising it, we were super close to the microphone, and I think maybe it was our hair or our clothing was scratching against the microphone, and you can hear it in the audio. It kind of goes like a little grating sound. So I am currently making an ambient music piece, a kind of a lo-fi ambient piece, because if you're familiar with lo-fi music, it sometimes has that little crackle of the vinyl, or like a vinyl sound. So I've been making some lo-fi music, and hopefully the crackle will hide or mask the mic scratching sounds that we didn't realise were happening. So let's just say hello. So this is actually a different time to what I usually usually live stream. Back in the UK, I stream around, I think, 9 PM UK time, whereas since it's 9:30 in the morning, it's going to be well past that in the UK. It's probably about 3 in the morning in the UK. So I think we might have some people from elsewhere in the world for this stream, which is nice, because I feel like I usually just get the same kind of time group or time zone. So where are we all from? Have you seen any historic Mughal era sites? No, I haven't. Do you know any that I should go and visit in the area? So you're about 11 PM in Oklahoma, USA. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect just for everybody winding down, maybe over in the States. So yeah, I think this is an alright time to be streaming. Ohio, USA, midnight here. 10 PM, Wyoming, Ohio. Yeah, I was thinking I'll probably be catching a lot of the Americans. It's midnight in Buenos Aires. Oh, sorry, I'm not saying that right. Same for North Dakota. Scotland misses you. Well, I don't miss the Scottish weather, that's for sure. I'm getting a little bit of a tan. No, I do miss Scotland a wee bit. Midnight in New Hampshire, South Carolina. So, are you thinking about becoming a naturalised Indian citizen? No. I'm only over here pretty much for this dog. Though I do see myself travelling a little bit more now that I've realised that I can kind of transfer my life abroad. It's been something I've always wanted to do since becoming full-time on YouTube 4 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. Oh, can you hear something? There's like a drone sound. Since becoming full-time on YouTube 4 years ago, I've always wanted to like try out living abroad, see if I could make it work. But I was doing a lot of music stuff with my sister and the timing just didn't ever work out. But this has kind of just forced me to just get everything organised. I managed to figure it all out within a month. It's funny how much you can get done when there's like a pressure, a time pressure on things. Can you hear that? So yeah, I would like to maybe travel a little bit and work and see where I go. I think it's an aeroplane. Hi, is the blonde girl your twin or is she you? Do you mean in my old videos? The blonde girl is me. I've had lots of different hairstyles over the years, and when I was filming my channel in the early days, I had a lot of bleach blonde hairdos, either cropped or kind of long. I remember you saying you were going to go to India a month or two back. Glad to see you made it over. I know, I can't believe I'm here. Hello. You do hear that? Okay, let's just wait a wee bit. Let me just peek out the window. Okay, that doesn't sound like an aeroplane, it's too close. We only have the bird or pterodactyl, whatever it is. No way, I haven't seen your channel since like 2018. Wow, yeah, I've had my channel since 2018. You must have been one of the early ones. Yeah, it's a helicopter apocalypse now, part 2. Will you ever make another video with your twin? I very much doubt it. She did not like it. She did not enjoy the whole ASMR filming thing. Funnily enough, it was my twin that got me into ASMR. She was the one that told me, hey, you should check out this thing, it's whispering online, it's really relaxing. And that was 10 years ago. I was living in China. I do like to live abroad, as you can tell. I was living in China studying Chinese, and my degree programme was solid. So my twin sister wanted me to watch ASMR just to chill out. I thought it sounded a bit odd. But I gave it a go and I loved it. I found this ASMR channel that the speaker was Chinese, so I felt like I was studying and relaxing at the same time, so it was perfect for me and I was hooked from that point. But I think when I started my channel, I kind of commandeered it, and my sister doesn't really watch it so much anymore, I think because it's now my thing. And as much as she enjoyed it, I think she finds my ASMR highly annoying. It's like she's got a little bit of misophonia, which is when like mouth sounds or eating sounds trigger you in a negative way. So she gets quite irritated by some mouth sounds. So listening to me for an hour doing ASMR, it triggers her. She hates it. Any favourite dishes you've tried over there? Oh, I really like palak paneer. I had that 2 nights ago. It's so cheap over here, honestly. There's a restaurant across the road, honestly about 30 seconds away, and we got a dal takda, palak paneer, 2 naans each, a rice to share, and drinks, and it came to something like £8.50. It's so cheap. So that's a really sort of key thing that I'm loving over here, just how cheap it is. I'm going for breakfast after I've streamed, and I get this like big huge fruit muesli bowl thing with coconut curd, and then I get my coffee, and it costs like £4. Actually it's about £3. So yeah, I'm enjoying how cheap everything is relative to the UK. Oh, thank you. Speaking of money, somebody just given me a tip. Thank you. Hello and good evening from America. You're one of the few, if not top 3 ASMR in my ASMR artist list. That means so much, so thank you. I do have a compliment to give you. Your features remind me of Celine Dion from the early 2000s. Thank you, that's a massive compliment. Yeah, I guess we have like a similar shaped head. And I could definitely see why there's a resemblance there. Thank you. Thank you so much, that's really generous. Howdy from Texas. Do you know the history of the Blairs in Scotland and the connection of Scottish history? Sir Robert the Brave connection. No, I don't. Can you tell me? Have you got some information that you could share? Same, but mine is from Chew and Eaton. Can't watch those type of videos. Yeah, okay, so we were just chatting a little bit about misophonia. The humidity seems to be killing you. Do you know what it is? I'm sat here and the aircon is switched off. So I've switched off the fans, I've switched off the aircon, I've switched off the fridge. All for your benefit, because I'm trying to make it as quiet as possible. But then again, maybe the aircon would be better than helicopter sounds, because the aircon is a powerful thing and it drowns out all the outside noise. So all you can hear is this burl of the aircon. So yeah, I am a little bit sweaty. I'm glowing. Thanks for the videos. Have fun in India. Thank you. Will you be showing us around Goa anytime soon? Would you like that? It wouldn't be an ASMR video. It would definitely be a... well, it depends how I do it. If I was to stream walking around India, that wouldn't be an ASMR stream. That would be pretty hectic. The phone that I'm using has an Indian SIM in it, so it would maybe work, depending on the signal. The signal is pretty solid actually though. In saying that, in India, it's better than the UK. Like, I feel this stream is a lot more stable than my streaming in Glasgow. Or I could film like a little vlog thing, just go around and take some clips and then piece it together. What would you prefer? What kind of style of video would you enjoy to see Goa? How long are you going to be in India? I'm going to be here for at least another 2 months. Then I've got to go back home because my little sister is graduating from university. She has been doing a degree in English literature and film studies, and she'll be graduating at the end of June. So I'm going to go home for probably a month, and then I've got to come back out because the procedure of adopting a dog, the procedure involves rabies vaccinations, and that's what takes the longest amount of time, because you have to give your dog 2 rabies vaccinations 30 days apart, and then 30 days after the second vaccination you have to organise a blood test and then get it sent to a lab and then get it sent somewhere else to check if there's enough rabies antibodies in the dog's blood. If not, then you have to wait and get another vaccination, then wait another 30 days and then check again. So you need to basically have enough antibodies in the dog's blood in order to tick off for them to go back to the UK. And there's a few other things that need to be done, microchipped, which she's already been microchipped. Yeah, it's quite complicated, so it could take until July, maybe even August if the rabies vaccinations need to be done several times. So I have got a 6-month visa. You can go and come back during that time. So yeah, I think I might be going away for a month and then coming back. So this is my year. It's so funny how life has all these unexpected turns, twists and turns. Yeah. Why don't they just ask the dog if it had rabies? Okay, I'm going back just to read some of your comments. Do you get burnout or anxiety about making ASMR? I definitely used to. The anxiety is less and less now because I've kind of rationalised it over the years. But the anxiety would come from myself, is this video going to do well? What's the algorithm thinking these days? And then the burnout would come from when I pushed myself too much, telling myself that I needed to get a video out, even though, as you've seen from my upload schedule, it's very sporadic and there's not really any rhyme or reason to my uploads. But a few years ago, I used to tell myself that I had to, because everybody in the community at the time was like 3 videos a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Sundays or something like that. And, they all had schedules, all the successful ASM artists, and I didn't. And I felt that anxiety surrounding that. But now I've managed to take, I suppose, my ego out of it, because that's what it is. It's the worry that, people aren't going to like what you do and you're going to be judged, but that's all coming from this internal voice in your head, your ego trying to protect you, make you feel relevant or whatever. Now that I've kind of worked through a lot of my anxiety, sorry, you're getting a monologue here, I recognise that if I make a video, and even if it touches a handful of people, that's me done my job. And that's how I've made myself feel better these days, because there's just no point putting that pressure on myself. Sounds hectic. Sometimes hectic sounds heard from a calm place is comforting. I was kind of thinking of working with the environment. Like I say, I've got a video coming out with lo-fi music that I'm making for the first time. I'm really excited to release that. So I thought maybe I could just do something along those lines again. Film in my room here. Do some sort of like background noise, ASMR, hangout, lo-fi beats. Because I don't think anyone's really doing anything like that. So I could try and just lean into all the sounds that are going on. Because I think sometimes the sounds from outside, it makes it feel alive. Sometimes when there's dead silence and the white noise has been removed from the audio, it could sound almost heavy, like the silence is heavy, and then the whispering just, I don't know, sometimes. Anyway, I'm just going back to answer some of your questions and read what you're saying. Have you had the street food? Not so much this time. I had momos. How are you spending time? I am editing. I am creating music. I've had a DJ gig. I was here for a week in Goa, and somebody I met 2 years ago who used to work in a hostel, he DJs, and he got me in touch with this club promoter. So I was here for a week and I had a gig. So that was so cool. So I brought my violin over. I bought some DJ decks so I could practice out here. So I'm taking this time to really focus on the creative elements of my life, my DJing, my music production, and ASMR. So watch this space. Vlog style is probably the best for India because it's tough watching India streams with how hectic and noisy it is. Goa honestly isn't the same as maybe what you've seen before. Goa is a lot more chill. It's like being in the jungle. Sir Roger de Blair. Okay, so Heath is somebody who's watching right now, and he has Scottish heritage. So we're going to read a little bit about that. Sir Roger de Blair, often associated with the Blair of that ilk family, was a trusted supporter of King Robert the Bruce, receiving a knighthood. Okay, so is that someone you're descended from? Why don't they just ask the dog if it had rabies? Oh, it's getting loud now. So it is 20 to 10 in the morning. I woke up at 8 and it was very quiet. So maybe I'm going to have to kick the dog and the boyfriend out earlier next time to catch the quiet. So this Blair dude received the knighthood and a charter for lands in Ayrshire for his service before and during the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. He was a nephew of Sir Bryce de Blair, a follower of William. I've been watching Outlander, so it's quite fun revisiting all this. I work in the veterinary field, and yes, it's complicated when it comes to rabies and health certificates for certain countries when travelling. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about it, and I understand the worry and I suppose all the legislation in place, but yeah, it could be a lot. Well, I've just arrived and we're talking about rabies. What great time. Okay, so a walkthrough of Goa would be good, first person perspective. Okay. Are you alone in India now? No, I'm here with my newly adopted dog and my boyfriend. The YouTube feed was really pushing the heartbeat vid from 3 years ago for some reason. I've noticed that the algorithm really has changed over the last wee while. New videos just seem to be struggling, hitting a plateau. Like my last couple of videos, they've been slightly different to what I usually do. Like I did a singing video where I sing you to sleep, and that kind of tanked. And then I did a sunrise video, which hasn't been doing so well. But my older videos have been making a resurgence, so I don't really know what the algorithm is focusing on at the moment. There's been a lot of changes because YouTube has been pushing shorts, which for some creators is great. For me, not so good. So yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on things, see what's going on in ye olde YouTube world. Oh, thank you, Brian. Funnily enough, I first found your channel when I was learning Chinese. Oh, stumbled upon your ASMR Jachan videos one night and been a fan since. Oh, I haven't posted on that channel in so long. That was like a little project I started, I think it was around lockdown. Yeah, maybe I could try and focus on that again. Oh, I've missed quite a few of your comments. Let me just go down. I want to say I love your videos. They've helped me sleep every night. You're one of my favourite ASMR creators. Love from KY. Thank you very much for leaving that wee comment. That's nice. I love when you upload simply because you upload. You create content I enjoy, spoken in ways I connect with. That makes me really happy to hear. Oops, I almost just reported your comment. Oops, I should just keep my hands off. Oh, thank you very much, Mara. That's a really nice comment. Hi, Shorty, you're up very late or very early. I'm actually up normal time. I'm in India. 7 years now this year, Shorty. I know. It is, in India, it is 9:44. Okay, I think maybe I'm a wee bit far behind. Let me just push it down. Oh, somebody liked the sunrise video. Oh, Brian did. Thank you, Brian. YouTube weirdly waited until I unsubscribed from past people I used to draw to push my old fan art videos. Yeah, YouTube is a fickle beast, isn't it? A lot of ASMR is now reverting back to old school ASMR when it originally started out in early 2012, 2013, before it came mainstream. Yeah, I kind of leaned into that a little bit myself, you know, trying to recreate my older, just personal attention, hand movements, me and the camera kind of style. If you've got any ideas as to what you'd like to see, if I was to kind of go along with this trend of 2012 style, if you'd like to see something in particular, let me know. Is your new boyfriend Indian? No, he's from Newcastle. I've got a thing for Geordies apparently. my ex was from Newcastle too. We've actually been dating for 2 years, or coming up for 2 years, but he came to India at the end of last year to visit a friend, and it was kind of like a mental health reset for him. He had a lot of kind of things happening last year that put him in a bit of a slump, you know, redundancy, health issues, and he came over here and he met a street dog. He befriended the street dog, as you do. He's an absolute animal lover. Grew up with dogs, grew up with cats. I had cats growing up, but they were pretty much feral. They never came in the house. So I've never had that kind of connection to animals until now. So I'm learning a lot about dogs. I've pretty much been with my new puppy for a month now, and street dogs are such clever dogs. Almost too clever, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just watching and they play you. They know what to do to get your attention, and they're not just passively sat there. She's brilliant. She's got a right little personality, and very playful. Street dogs are full of energy and nibble quite a bit. Like, she'll come up at you and attack you, and then she puts her mouth around my my arms and my legs, but she doesn't put pressure on me. She just kind of nibbles, though she's getting a wee bit too strong recently. She's getting a bit gallus, which is the Scottish word for kind of ahead of herself. She's getting a bit gallus, getting a bit ahead of herself. The more comfortable she's getting, but she's brilliant. She's a funny little thing. I asked my boyfriend to take her out this morning because this is the first stream that I'm doing since coming to India. But for the next one, I'll keep her in the room, and she'll probably start barking at some noise outside, but it'll be good if you could meet her. Have you seen Andor? It's such a great show. I highly recommend. I haven't, but we have a TV here, so I would give it a go. What's it about? Greetings from your neighbour, Pakistan. Sending big love over to Pakistan. Do you have any favourite soccer team from the Premier League? Newcastle United. Oh, thank you so much. I love you so much. Your videos help me relax and sleep. My girlfriend doesn't really like you though. That's fair enough. Could you say fresh? Fresh. What's your pup's new name? Luna. Because my boyfriend met her on the full moon. And she's this sandy blonde colour with little patches of white. So it is quite a suited name to her. I would love another ASMR. Follow my instructions, please. Okay, noted. Man, those old 2012, 2013 style tapping videos were peak. Is that an accent I hear? Yes, I'm Scottish. Any plans on making an ASMR video with the dog? Yes, I'd like to do like maybe like a doggy massage video or hair combing. I've got a couple of hair combs for the dog because she actually had fleas a couple of weeks ago, so we had to put her through a course of treatment for the fleas, and I've got this little flea comb which would make some nice sounds. I know that's gross. But yeah, I'd like to again lean into the whole I'm in India thing. Maybe get her sat outside or on the beach or something and just do some ASMR on the dog. I think that'd be lovely. Hi Shorty from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Hello. I've been surrounded by dogs my whole life. They've all different ways to grab your attention. Mine does a little shuffle that looks like a dance. Oh. What's your dog called, Elijah? So you moved to India for a few months at least. Yeah, I'm here until the summer. My dog Ollie sometimes bites us too. Yeah, for me it was quite a shock when she started biting, because I've not really spent much time with dogs, as I said. And she looks proper aggressive. When she does it, her nose scrunches up and she goes, but she is just playing. Yeah, it was quite funny to witness. But I think she's a bit of a fighter, I think. I mean, she spent the first 6 months of her life on the streets. So yeah, she's not the friendliest to other dogs, but she's super friendly to people. When are you going to read us Indian folk tales? That would be fun, wouldn't it? I'll maybe try and get my hand on some book and do that. Some Indian folk tale, or Hinduism fascinates me, and I love reading and learning about the Hindu gods. So I suppose something like that would be quite nice. I like the Indian culture and the emphasis on spirituality over here. My favourite cafe is not too far away, and it's a spiritual cafe, that's what it's called. And it's so serene. It's right on the water. The people there are very nice. The food is great. And yeah, there are little temples and little places of worship that just pop up. And Goa also is interesting because it's an old Portuguese settlement. So there are little churches everywhere as well. So there's like this blend of Christianity and Hinduism in Goa, which is quite a unique blend. So yeah, it's very cool being here and exploring that side of things. I'm here in India until probably July or August. Isn't summer in India year round though? Well, it's hot in Goa pretty much, but not necessarily up in the north. When my boyfriend went to Gwalior, which is not far from Delhi, but still pretty far because India's huge. But I think it got pretty cold at night time. And then up in the mountains, it can get cold as well. I think it can drop below 0 degrees Celsius. So because of the size of the country, there really are varying areas in terms of the temperature and the weather. Okay, sorry, my throat's getting a little bit. There's a frog. There's a frog in my throat. Could you say Loch Ness? Loch Ness. Loch Ness. Give a shout out to my dog. His name is Toast. Sending Toast lots of love. That's such a cute name. Did you eat your curry? I have had lots of curries over here. I'm in Michigan. The border of Canada is a few miles from me. That's the furthest country I've travelled to. I'd like to travel abroad with such purpose as you do. Happy to live vicariously for now. Well, I hope that you get your chance to go and live abroad one time, or just visit somewhere abroad. Yeah, maybe even Scotland one day. India has a lot of cobras, including the king cobra. Maybe you could do some ASMR with them. Imagine the hiss and tingles. I think I'd have to be very brave to do some ASMR with a cobra. Since you're Scottish and you're in India, are people fascinated by your accent? It's lovely. Thank you so much. Oh, that's a bus going past. Some of the buses have some fantastic and wonderful horns. There's one that sounds kind of like the Love Parade, which is like a techno anthem from the 90s, and the bus goes past, toots its horn. I think it's a local bus, and it's like anyway, sorry, answering that question, are people fascinated by my accent? To be honest, a lot of the people I come across just hear in their minds a British accent. There's been some Indian people who have very good English and they pick up on the Scottish accent because yeah, they're just more familiar with the language, but yeah, it just depends really. Are you solo or with your boyfriend? I'm over here with my boyfriend, but he's taken Luna, our dog, out for the morning so that I can I could stream in peace. Can I be a managing mod to help fill the trolls? Yes, you can. Let me just... Oh, no, I accidentally almost reported you. Yeah, I do need some more moderators. The real question is, when will you audition for the role of Doctor Who? No, that's another one I've got a bit of an opinion on. I feel like recently the Doctor Who scripts have become quite, I don't know, childish. I loved David Tennant as the Doctor. He was the best. But yeah, the more recent ones, I don't know if it's just a lower budget or something, but I feel like Doctor Who just isn't as scary. Like, do you guys remember the Weeping Angels or whatever they were? The ones where if you closed your eyes, the angels were closer to you. That was a terrifying episode. They don't make Doctor Who like that anymore. You know Crash Bandicoot? Yes, I do. I played that on the Nintendo 64 when I was a kid. Hello. Oh, hey Vaughn. Thank you for sharing as always. What's the population size of Goa? How's the EDM scene here? Or there? I'm not sure of the population actually. I'll have a quick check. But the EDM scene is excellent. Population of Goa. Oh, wow, okay, 1.46 million. With nearly equal split of 740,000 males and 720,000 females. Cool. I did not know that. A lot of tourists come to Goa. So Goa is primarily like the tourist hotspot in India. So a lot of Indians will come here for their holidays. And there are a lot of clubs, the psytrance scene. So if anybody is familiar with the subgenre of psytrance, it originated in Goa. And the reason I came here 2 years ago for the first time was because my twin and I wanted to check out a couple of psytrance festivals. And it was awesome. We had the best time. But there are clubs in Goa, quite a lot of them. You'll find techno, house, high tech, psytrance. It's very diverse, and it's a great place for me to be if I want to try and get a couple of gigs. I've already been speaking to a few club promoters. I've already had one gig a couple of weeks ago, so I'm really hoping that I could maybe start carving a little name for myself out here. How's the heavy metal scene in India? That I don't know. I'm not so familiar with the heavy metal scene, but I did see some Indian goths having breakfast across at the other table the other day. So there's definitely a scene. I mean, the thing is, India is so big, so you know you'll have pretty much everything somewhere in India. What I like about the electronic music scene in particular, putting psytrance aside for a moment, the other subgenres of electronic music are still quite new in India. With the internet and things, you know, it's all become a lot more accessible, which is cool for me because if I'm DJing, I could pull out a lot of like old club classics, which would be well known in the UK, but in India, probably they've never been heard before because they've been listening to a lot of the more new, like electronic music. So it's been fun, like pulling out a couple like old school 90s bangers, and they're like, yes. So that's fun. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Doctor 10 is iconic. 10 in general is iconic. Yeah, you're right. I do love Doctor Who. Thank you very much. You said you bring your instrument. Is it violin, cello, or what? I've brought my electric violin over. I'm just looking at it there. So I DJ and play electric violin at the same time. And I have some decks over here that I've been practicing on. Turntable by day, Blue Yeti by night. Literally. The two sides of my life are very different. I'm either extremely loud. No, that's the opposite. Very quiet. Making ASMR or very loud. DJing. I met up with and shot promo photos and portraits of some goths in an industrial scene the other day. Never seen them at a metal venue in such a way. It was an amazing night. I have been to a metal concert. I don't know if it counts as metal. It's like fantasy rock. I've spoke about this band a few times. Glory Hammer. They are a band that sing about wizards and galactic warriors, and it's like a fusion between like Dungeons and Dragons but outer space. they're pretty epic, and they're from Dundee, but I heard about them through a German friend. I hadn't seen this friend in years. We met in China and we studied together. And he got in touch with me a few years ago and said, "Hey, Josette, have you heard of this band Gloryhammer? They're pretty popular in Germany, but they're from Dundee. I heard them singing about Ochtermuchty and Dundee and Fife." And I was like, wait, that's where Josette's from. So they sing about all these places in Scotland. So to meet up with this friend a few years ago, I flew to, where was it? Was it Munich? I flew to Germany to go watch a Scottish band play in Germany with my friend, which was quite funny. And it was all these mad 30-year-old rockers, these big German guys, all throwing each other around in the mosh pits. It was epic. I had the best time. Do you learn Hindi? No, I've not really picked up much, just little bits here and there. But fortunately in Goa, there's a lot of English-speaking places. I know people who visit China visit India eventually. I wonder why. Personally, for me, it was the draw of going to a place that was completely different to the UK. So the thing that excited me about going to China, first of all, was the fact that it was a completely different culture. It would be new and fresh and just a kind of like a shock to the senses, but in a good way. And that's what appealed to me, the adventure. And after I'd spent time in China, I was like, okay, where's the next big place for me to visit that will be completely different? And India was definitely the place pulling me. But there are so many other places that I want to visit. I've never been to any country in Africa, so I'd like to go there. I've been to a couple of places in Southeast Asia, but there's still so many places I'd like to explore. Never been to anywhere in South America. Never been to Canada. Yeah, there's a lot of Russia. I'd love to go to Russia. The world's just full of fascinating places. So there's a lot to do and see. Have you been to Disneyland? Yes, I have actually. That's the only time I've been to the USA. I've been to Florida twice. My dad took me because I was a little Disney princess. I still am. If you travel around India, try to see the Barabar caves, which are artfully carved with incredible symmetry and resonance. Maybe portals for teleportation across the Milky Way. I'd love that. The first person I've seen on live scrolling that I actually subscribed to. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. Have you been to Georgia? No, I haven't. Doesn't the Scottish band perform in their home country? They do. But the gig that they ended up performing in Scotland a couple of months later, I'm pretty sure the venue was much, much smaller than the one in Germany. They've got some mad following over there for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think Germans just love their metal. Have you been to Mexico? No, I've not. I'd like to go. There's so many places I'd like to go. I love how much freedom you give yourself. I think your heart's filled with wonder and appreciation for life. And I'm filled with hope knowing people like you exist and have a voice. Oh, thank you. That's a lovely thing to say. It's really, really nice. Have you been to Galicia? No. You mean like in Spain? I've not. My twin has. She speaks Spanish very, very well. And she spent her year abroad in Spain when she was studying Spanish at uni. And she says that it's a beautiful part of the country. How has your day been? My day has just started, really. It is now 10:15 in the morning. I got up, quickly got ready, threw my boyfriend and my dog out the house, and been live streaming. After this, I'm going to go have some breakfast, a nice healthy breakfast and my cup of coffee. Well, I'm just looking at my eyes because I've not. Sorry, that's gross. I'm I'm just realising how puffy I look. And what else is on the cards today? Planning, budgeting. Yes, today's a serious day in a way. My boyfriend and I were having a chat last night, and bringing a dog back to the UK is a very long process, but it's a very expensive process as well. And it's his responsibility, but I'm helping where I can. But this is his brainchild, you know. Not that I don't want a dog, but he met Luna a couple of months ago, and he came up with this plan to bring her back to the UK, because there are a lot of street dogs in India, and it's a shame. They've got no home. They sometimes get treated quite badly because they're seen as like pests, you know. So he's currently raising some funds to try and get her back, because it costs thousands of pounds. So yeah, we're going to have a bit of a planning day, some serious stuff. And then I'm going to create some lo-fi music for my newest video, which I'm very excited about. And I'm really hoping I can get that video out this week. Have you been to Saturn? Not yet. It's 9:40 p.m. where I'm at. Where are you at, Pistol? I won't lie, your videos help people through their toughest times. I speak from personal experience. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that you went through pretty tough times, but I'm glad I can help a wee bit. Thank you for letting me know. That's one lucky dog. Your Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for an hour now. I'll probably stay on for a wee bit more, a couple more minutes, and then I'll go get some breakfast. Thanks for everything so far. Thank you. Oh, right, okay, you're talking about a movie. Right, I see. Thanks, Jordan, for clarifying. Teach that dog some good values. I'm never going to India. Yeehaw. Love you, Coco. See you later, Cody. Thank you so much, Elijah. Is it Elijah or am I saying that right? I'm just thinking of Elijah Wood. That's the only other Elijah that I know. Not that I know him. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. That's really kind of you. What's for breakfast? So I'm thinking maybe today I might go for avocado with olives and egg on toast, but not just any toast, on Goan bread. So in Goa, Goan food for Goa. And Goan bread, it's kind of like, it looks like a, what's the word? Right, what is the object when you turn it and the sand falls and it's for the, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. What is that? It's that shape, you know? Whatever. Goan bread, it's like this flat bread that looks like that shape, and it's delicious. So that's what I'll be having for my toast. Egg timer hourglass. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thanks to an hourglass. Do you work out? I used to, quite religiously. When I was in my mid-20s, I would go to the gym like 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times, but recently I've not. I've not really been working out at all, except from doing yoga. So what happened, I would go to the gym and I would never stretch. Never stretch, because in my 20s, I was driven by productivity definitely too much. So I would skip things that I felt were unnecessary, that were a waste of time. Like I knew it all. But I did. I would skip my warm-ups and my cool-down stretches. And when I was in my late 20s, I started going to the Thai masseuse quite regularly. And they always kept commenting on how tight my shoulders were. But like, they would go on about it a lot. And then I realised that I have done a bit of damage to my muscles by not stretching. It's not just that as well. I believe that we carry a lot of stress and tension in our bodies, and if we're in a state of high alert quite a lot, your body remembers. It's like a defense mechanism. So your body's connected all over, and there's this thing called fascia. It's like it's like this kind of layer underneath your skin, between your muscles, and it connects everything. So you might find that if you've got a pain in your back, your lower back, it might actually be to do with a tightness in your shoulder, because there's like this big system all over your body. So I have tightness in my body from not stretching, but also from playing the violin. I have like a huge tightness up here from holding my violin up and in my chest. Anyway, the point is, I started going to the masseuse regularly, and I realised that my body needs to heal. So I've been doing yoga, I've been trying to get a massage every couple of weeks, and it's definitely getting better. So I've kind of stayed off the workout. Why am I telling you all this? Because I would like to emphasise how important it is to stretch and to get massages. That's another thing I'd like to say about being in India and the East in general. You know, you hear about Indian head massages, Thai massages. In China, massages are a normal thing. You know, I remember when I was living there, I went and got a 30-minute body massage for £4. You know, it's so cheap. Whereas in the West, things like massage, it's marketed as a premium service. You know, it's a luxury. And, you know, if you're treating yourself, if you're wanting to be a little bit lavish, then you go get a massage. But I believe that the Eastern ideology is so much better. You know, in the UK, in the West, our bodies are treated like machines to work, machines to create output, to push, to achieve, to make money. But in the East, the culture's a lot more slow in a lot of the ways. Not maybe like now, as the West is influencing the rest of the world and consumerism and capitalism, blah, blah, blah. But if you go back to the more basics of the culture, it was all about looking after your body and, you know, the mind and body connection. And massage is not a luxury thing. It's normal. Everyone should be getting it. I know a lot of people don't like being touched, but I will say, if you start doing some stretching, if you start doing some yoga, I guarantee you it's going to help. It's going to help you in so many ways. It's going to prolong your life. And yeah, I just want to really push that. I just really want to push the importance of looking after your body. Yeah. Sorry. I keep going on little rants. Are you a Star Wars fan? Yes, I am. I love Star Wars, Jordan. I've watched many Indian head massage videos. They look so satisfying. I've had one, and they're very good, but they start pulling your hair, which feels surprisingly amazing. Like, they get clumps of your hair and start pulling, sort of making the blood flow to your brain, and it feels brilliant. Let's do yoga with shortbread. That would be fun, to do like a wee ASMR yoga video. I know quite a few ASMR artists have done that. I've seen a few over the years. I don't practice yoga in terms of I barely know what the moves are called and stuff. The first time I did yoga was coming up for 2 years ago. I went on a yoga and meditation retreat. Now, I had no interest in meditation. I had never done yoga before, but basically I was lonely. I was living on my own for the first time, creating ASMR in a new place, and living in Glasgow. Had moved there, and I needed to be around some people. So I was on Instagram, and an advert popped up for this 1 month working retreat. So the idea was that people who worked from home could go to this retreat and live there for a month. Yoga was offered in the morning, meditation was offered as well. And then for the rest of the day, you just kind of co-lived with everybody, worked and hung out, and there was about 20 of us on the experience. It was amazing. Changed my life. But as I said, I'd never done yoga, but I loved it, from day one. That was it. Every day for 30 days, I loved it. But the meditation for me, I was like, oh, boring. Like I said earlier, I used to be very focused on productivity. But then halfway through the experience, it clicked. The whole concept of meditation, it really just clicked in my mind, and I've been hooked ever since. And now I value being rather than doing a lot more, if that makes sense. Let's do yoga. Yeah, you're in the country where yoga was born. Yes, I am. There's a lot of yoga things going on around here. Star Wars, you'd like my brother-in-law. He's got a massive fan cave with arcade theatre in his basement. Wow. You haven't been there in way too long. Maybe I should thrift a Star Wars cosplay and hang with him. You definitely should. That sounds like such a unique little opportunity. Go hang out in the Star Wars arcade. I compare meditation to organising books on shelves. That's a good way of putting it. Just kind of like clearing, creating space. 5 a.m. in Scotland. Woo! Hey Scott, are you up for your morning shift, or are you just an early riser? Opinions on the new Ghostbusters movies. I've not actually seen them. I was never really into Ghostbusters when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't even know if I've seen the originals. Would you recommend? Have you ever found yoga routines and meditation practices with a lot of intentionality for beginners? I've tried and I have a kit. It's heckin' dusty though. Do you mean like, do I have advice for beginners, or if I've found resources for beginners? That's what I was about to say. When I do yoga, I don't really follow any set routines or moves. I kind of just feel what's sore in my body and then just start stretching to try and alleviate that. And I know the basic moves, so I kind of just move between that. But yeah. Night shift here in the States. Hey Johnny, I almost missed your live. How's India? I'm having a great time. It's really fun. It's hectic, but, well, not so much in Goa, but Gwalior was pretty hectic. It's chill. It's, well, it's just a very unique place. I love it. I'm in Goa. Were you into Sonic? Yeah, I was into Sonic. I had my PlayStation and what else was it? Little Game Boy thing. I got up to pay the bin because I forgot. I'm trying to settle again. Oh well, I'm sorry, you might not get much settling done with all the noise going on. It's getting a little bit late now in the day. So it's 10:30 in the morning, or just about to be. So now it's getting a little bit more lively outside. When I started streaming, I think it was a bit quieter. Hi from Australia, my home country. I love India. I love India too. Well, I'd love advice, resources, or any insight. If you'd like advice about meditation, I've been listening to this podcast on Spotify. It's called Taoist Meditations, and it's this old guy. He's got a very soothing voice, and he's just talking about Taoism and the kind of ideology. So whilst it's not meditation, I feel that focusing on things like that is a form of meditation. Joe Dispenza is pretty well known in the meditation world, and I would say that's maybe a cool place to start, checking out some of his meditations on YouTube. Yeah, I can maybe do a video about meditation actually. There's a few little techniques and things, but yeah, start small. And the key is you're not trying to achieve anything with meditation. Start for 5 minutes, and yeah, it's pretty basic. Just try and observe your thoughts rather than become pulled in by them. It's the key thing is not to try and stop your thoughts, because if you try and fight your thoughts, if you try and push them away, it's like trying to stop the waves by hitting them with a stick. You know what I mean? You just have to wait and observe and wait until there's moments of calm. So don't try and fight your thoughts during meditation. Just observe them and recognize that, you know, these are just passing thoughts like clouds. You know, you don't have to cling to any of them. You don't need to attach importance to them. Just watch them and see where they go. And you're trying to find the gaps between the thoughts. And the more you practice this, the longer that gap will become. And if you're ever struggling, just focus on your breath and just focus on what you can hear, what you could feel, just the senses. Always bring it back to your senses. There you go. Hope that helps. I'm in Goa. Have you been to Kerala? No, but I've heard a lot of good things. Okay. I'm going to have to get going. There's still some messages I've not replied to. I'd love if you create a video, maybe even linking some of your favourite guides and your interpretations. Probably same day as I read ASMR because it's niche. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, you're right. At a certain point, meditation will become something natural. You will crave to meditate. Yeah, it's changed my life, definitely. Godzilla's new album, The Mountain, was recorded primarily in India. I didn't know that. I'll need to go have a listen to it. Any plans to turn the street bus of India into ASMR? Doable? Yeah, we were chatting a wee bit about that at the beginning of the stream. I'll see what I can do. I'd love to try. And work something out. If you've got any advice, just drop a comment and I will be open to anything, any ideas. Okay, right, well, I'm going to get going, go have my breakfast. For those of you who are ending your day, I hope you have a lovely sleep, that you wake up feeling rested. If you're starting your day like me, then have a good one. And if you're in the middle of your day, I hope that everything goes smoothly for you, that you're feeling calm. This has been a little, I don't know, nugget of peace for you during the day. Okay. Enjoy your complex toast. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining. It's been really nice to get back into the swing of things.